uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom. G'day guys, today we are going deep on the Graza. This is the 7.62 Ayatollah of rock and roller, the big daddy, the airdrop 7.62 AR that has a phenomenal rate of fire, a huge alpha strike, and is incredibly misunderstood in PUBG Mobile. I'm going to tell you exactly how you should be playing this. I'm going to back it up with some recoil numbers that are going to blow your mind, and I'm going to let you in on a few little Graza secrets that are probably going to change the way you look at this weapon and will hopefully change the way you use this weapon. Because I have come to some really startling conclusions when measuring the data, the pixels, the recoil, the bullet speed, and especially the hip fire. It's very, very interesting, and I think it's something that will help you win more PUBG mobile battles if you're running the big dog here. Before we go any further, it would help me tremendously if you would like the video and subscribe to the channel, and if you think it's worth it, and you think it's helping the humans, share the video to people who also play the game. And if you want to buy any UC, click the Aniba link in the description below. That helps out me, moi, yours truly, anytime someone purchases UC. And we all love to buy a bit of UC. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Let's look at the raw stats that really shape this weapon. First and foremost, the phenomenal rate of fire stands out. Obviously, you can't go past the 779 rounds per minute. And M416 does 638. AKM does 625. This thing's firing a 47.9 damage chest round at 770 odd rounds per minute. That's an incredible number, and it leads you to an incredible time to kill. It will clear a level 2 vest in 0.231 seconds, which is disastrous if you're the guy in the level 2 vest, obviously. The other thing that is a little bit of an unsung hero for the Graza is that it has the fastest bullet speed of any of the 7.62 ARs at 714 meters a second. But what I want to do now is break down the recoil, and this is where things get absolutely wild, because the Graza is unlike any of the other PUBG Mobile ARs that I've tested thus far, which are the SCAR, the M4, the AUG, the ACE, the M762, the AKM, and now this, the Graza. It had the lowest vertical recoil and the second lowest horizontal recoil. Now, we all know that that feels weird and doesn't feel right, because the Graza's recoil can at times be absolutely uncontrollable and off the charts. And this is where the secret to the Graza lies. If you can master what I'm about to show you next, you are going to improve your gameplay with this gun out of sight. This is the recoil pattern I tested originally. Look at that area there. The first 4 shots after the animation kick. That is not an accident. If you go and fire the Graza at the wall, you're going to see that the first 4 to 5 shots after the animation kick are absolutely ridiculous. If you remove those 4 to 5 shots out of the raw recoil numbers, the Graza's average horizontal and average vertical recoil look absolutely pedestrian. And this is why the Graza sometimes lets you down, because it is literally one of the only guns I've seen in PUBG Mobile where the longer you fire, the worse the recoil gets. None of the other ARs we tested came up with anything along those lines. But it gets crazier, because I'm going to show you the hip fire graphing for the Graza as well. And the hip fire graphing is where I stand against a wall and I fire a full magazine while moving into that wall with my back up against another wall. So I'm always the same distance. And then I graph the individual plots and you get these lovely hip fire graphs. This is how I test all these weapons. So you get them in hip fire. Now on the left is the Graza. On the right is the AUG. The Graza has the biggest hip fire of any of the ARs I've tested. Bigger than the ACE, the M762, the AK. It also has the most shots in the dead center of the reticle. It's got the biggest variance of hip fire of any gun I've seen or tested that's an AR. Look at it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots dead center. That's nearly a third of the shots dead center. But everything else is on the outside. And that's where this comes in. See how the reticle keeps getting bigger and bigger until it reaches full bloom just there? That takes about 1.5 seconds. So when you are firing your gun and it has a really fast rate of fire like the Grazas, you peak quickly and then you pull back. Because when you do that, you're always getting the benefit of a smaller hip fire reticle, and you're still firing a whole bunch of rounds. And you're never getting to that point like you always do with the Graza, where you hold the button down and suddenly it's like it's just spraying poop everywhere and you're like, oh bro, now let's apply this to the ADS and you're going to start using the Graza correctly. Look at this. When you slow it down, the first 5 rounds on this thing are absolutely stupid. And these are all the kind of peaks you should be doing. You have the ability to hit 110 base damage headshots, okay? So you will clear a level 3 helmet in 2 shots. All your interactions should be short duration. It is a benefit when hip firing, and it is a huge benefit when ADSing. And if you start running the Graza, where you are literally taking snaps at everything you can, you are going to be so much better at the game with this gun. The other thing is you need to keep people at 20 to 25 meters when you're ADSing. That's a horrible distance here. And I intentionally put these clips in because this is the kind of range where you really get screwed over with this gun. At 20 meters, it's brilliant in ADS. And it keeps the guys with shotguns at a range where they're not going to be able to knock you as easily as they can when you're really close, like doing your hip fire thing. Like this kind of range, you're hip firing, obviously. But if you can keep people at 20 meters with the Graza, look at how bad the gun is once you hold the button down. You want to be keeping this gun in really short, sharp bursts. The better you do that, the better the gun will perform. And it's actually starting for me now to compete with the AK, which I didn't think it would do, with the AK's filthy gimmick of 3-shotting people just about when you hit them in the legs and clearing level 3 armor like it's a joke. Finally, attachments. We've got to talk attachments. The Graza had a huge buff when PUBG Mobile changed attachments because, one, they allowed the Graza to mount the barrel extender for AR. The barrel extender for AR takes this thing up to 1.1 more damage, which is 49 base damage to a chest shot. This is the kind of thing where you're now delivering 49 base damage at 770 rounds a minute, and that is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. The other thing that is great that they changed, you get a base 7% horizontal recoil reduction just for mounting a suppressor or a barrel extender. And the suppressor, while it's great to have 7% less horizontal recoil, it sure as hell doesn't beat having an extra 1.1 damage. And some of you are going to say, what's 1.1 damage? It's not worth running. It's ridiculous. Think about how many times you lose or win a PUBG mobile gunfight and there's 1 health in it. I hit a guy for 99 today with the UMP. 99. If I had have had a barrel extender on that UMP, I would have won the gunfight. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that opened your mind up to the Graza and what it can do and how it can actually really perform at a whole other level if you just use the gun the way it's been designed to be used. And I think going deep on this stuff and really testing it and measuring pixel by pixel the distance between the shots and looking at the way the shots actually impact the target has had a huge effect on the way I've been playing the guns in the game. You can't help but start listening to the science and picking up guns based on what's actually going to work for you when you start testing these things. Now, we're getting through all the ARs. If you have a particular AR you would like to see next, leave a comment below. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, hell, I won't stop you. And if you have a particular video you'd like to see, it doesn't have to be an AR video, let me know and I'll start working on it. Be sure to join the streams every Sunday and Thursday evening NA time. Join Patreon at patreon.com/Pushka if you want to play in them. And otherwise, just look after each other. Be nice to each other. Stay safe on the battlefield. Until next time, bye for now.